I've known some Bahamian women, knew them personally, who married strangers. And unfortunately, something went wrong with those marriages. And guess what happened to my Bahamian sisters? They're no more. What do you mean no more? They're not here. And Bahamians, I don't like that. And these are women I knew personally. They were my good friends. I went to school with some of them. And it grieves my spirit when I hear that kind of thing. So, Bahamian men, we need to pull up our socks. We have to protect our sisters. We got to protect our Bahamian women. Bahamian women are good women, very good women. I can tell you from more than 50 years' experience. The women of the Bahamas, I ain't talking about them other strangers now. I ain't not talking about no woman who say she's Bahamian, she no Bahamian. I ain't talking about them. I talk about the real, genuine Bahamian woman. Is a good woman for the Bahamian man. So you young brothers out there, stop beating up on our women. I saw one woman downtown, 4 children, man, getting them on the bus. And she had some packages with her and everything. This is how Bahamian women work, man. They working hard. They got to take care of themselves, take care of the children, take care of the men, take care of the boys. Now, come on. We cannot keep laying a burden on our sisters for them to take all this responsibility and the man just lay down and drink rum or relax. It is time for the Bahamian man. Notice what I said, the Bahamian man. I ain't talking about no male. You got male and then you got man. We need some real Bahamian men to come to the forefront and take the leadership because God gave the leadership to the Bahamian man. So, my brothers, we want you to step forward. And I think I'm going to be actively involved in helping to work with the younger males in the society so they can become real men, responsible men, reliable men, because Bahamians, the world is changing. Excuse me. The world is changing. There are some things that young people have which they can contribute to nation building. We should not be pushing them aside and saying negative things about them. We should work with them. They have a contribution to make. I know a lot of young people out there, and every time I see those young men, you know what I tell them? I need you to get as young as I am. I don't want them to be dying in their 20s and their 30s and their 15 and 16 and 17 and 18. That is no good to us. We have to find a way to keep them alive. Now, the fifth commandment comes to mind. Honor who? Your father and your mother. That's what the man tells me. Why? That your days may be long. We had a prominent attorney just recently passed, under the age of 50. Very brilliant, but is no longer around anymore. Then we had some who went down in the hole on these machines. Say they were cutting the hill down. They went down in the machine, everything caving on them. We've lost too many men. And I don't think we're taking it seriously. We need to have safety measures in place. We got to preserve life. And I won't talk about the accidents we have out there. People who are laid up in injuries, they got to go to the hospital, Princess Margaret Hospital. And those who can afford to go to doctor's hospital, go to doctor's hospital. Say a fella like me, I ain't gonna follow what the man tell me in scripture. Call for who? The elders of the church. Let them come and anoint him with oil and pray over him. And the prayer of faith shall save the sick. I don't know if y'all just do that anymore today. Y'all don't believe in prayer. You don't believe in healing? That the prayer of faith, it happened to me. When I had this, I don't know where it came from, but After I was anointed and prayed for, in less than 2 hours, it was gone. I know where it went, and I don't care. And my doctor, when I went to see him, could not explain to me what had happened. Didn't know. Well, I guess as far as his knowledge was concerned. But I believe in divine healing. And we're going to need plenty of that in this country because we have too many sick people, Bahamians. We got to be very careful what we eat, what we drink, where we go, who we hang out along with. Because some people got some sicknesses and diseases, they ain't going to give you no warning. Unfortunately, the lifestyles that some of us live is unbecoming. Bahamians, we got to wake up because we need every able bodied male and female, man and woman, boy and girl. We got to take care of the children. Even little children getting drowning in buckets of water. What kind of crap is that? That was unheard of in my day. We had to take care of the children. And we had to guard them with our lives. As my mother and father would never listen to any foolishness about something happened to their baby boy or the younger ones, the younger siblings in the family. It just didn't happen. But now today, all kind of funny things happening. And you parents who are having these little children, having the children on the outside, you're walking in the street. Please put the children on the inside. You come out on the outside. Don't have these little children on the outside. And they might get frightened with one dog or one car or something or one animal. Come on, Bahamians. And then they call it an accident. But it's actual carelessness on the part of, well, they're supposed to be responsible adults, but the adult, male and female. We are not taking care of our children as we ought to. And then you got them fighting in the schools, insulting teachers. Unheard of in my day. You couldn't say anything against a teacher. I won't talk about no headmaster because they had no principals in those days. They were headmasters. And then as I was coming out of school, they decided to change the name so they didn't call them principals. Now you had principals, all male principals. Now today, you can hardly find any male principals today. Most of them are females. And the level of discipline has dropped very badly. God knew what he was doing when he designed the man. So handle those boys over there. The women handled the girls. Women were made to assist the men, to help the men. But God made the man and put him in charge. Say now, you be in charge. You're the head. The head of the woman is the man. Some women may not like that, but that's too bad for them. That ain't changing for nobody. I don't care how smart and how brilliant they think they are. God said the head of the woman is the man. The head of the man is Christ. The head of Christ is God. No one could change that. I don't care what kind of education you think you got. God set that in place from the beginning, and he ain't changing it for nobody. But we don't want to listen to God. That's why we got all these problems. We have these meetings, meeting after meeting after meeting. I get sick and tired of hearing about when you go to public places, even some private places, they have a meeting. Meeting for what? To do what? And at the end of the day, you don't see any real results. Look what's happening in our country today. Every time you keep hearing meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting, what are the results of the meeting? What solutions came up with? Nothing. Just they had one meeting. And maybe they drink some stuff and eat some stuff and refreshments and that kind of thing. Nothing wrong with that part of it. But the point is, we need to see results behind it. People who have been given authority in this country ought to be responsible in bringing about results, because people are looking to see, well, then, what did he or she do? Because we have a plethora of problems, all kinds of problems, man. And it looked like it can. And then the police got their plate full and overflowing. They got to always be investigating. I sometimes feel sorry for them, you know. Because every time you look around, there's a new investigation. And you only have a limited number of police officers to do these investigations. And some of these things that are happening are very, very serious. And of course, we have investors coming in here, setting up shop. And of course, these agreements that are being signed by the government of the Bahamas, and we can't get to understand. We got a part what the Prime Minister said. We can play that later in the show. But the point is, you have agreements being signed by the government of the Bahamas. We don't know what's in them. See that hospital down Prospect? So that's a specialty hospital. Then the man say you can put one in Grand Bahama. It ain't there yet. And the one in New Providence isn't here yet. But we got Princess Margaret Hospital. And then Dr. Sands said he doesn't know where they can get the staff from to put in the specialty hospital as one, to put in the next hospital down in Grand Bahama. And then you got Duran down there. How many hospitals that is? 1, 2, 3, and then Princess Margaret Hospital make 4. And I believe they bought another building from someone else. Because I heard about that. The government bought another building, which was supposed to be another part of the hospital. And according to Dr. Sands, we don't have the manpower. We are trying to recruit nurses to come to the Bahamas. And then we have nurses that are leaving the Bahamas. Now, why? Why are our nurses leaving the Bahamas? Well, they should want to stay here. What's causing them to leave? What's so attractive in those other places? And what's so attractive, people coming from Guyana, nurses, to work here? What is it that they see here that we don't see here, and they come in here to work? And what are the terms and conditions of their work permits? There are just too many unanswered questions. And of course, you know this matter with the port, the Grand Bahama Port Authority and the government of the Bahamas. Big fight over $357 million. The man say he ain't owed them nothing. But you have an arbitration team that will be making a determination on that. We have some details that are out yet. In fact, we have the tape with the Prime Minister. I can play that a little later. But in essence, he said he couldn't say much about it. So it was undercover, as it were. I don't know why we keep having these agreements that are being signed on behalf of the Bahamian people, but we never get to see the agreement. We only hear the Prime Minister say this, the ambassador of the United States say that, the Chinese say this, and the Dr. Dowell say that. That's all we have, Bahamians. But you ain't see the real thing. See, I could pull up the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I ain't got to listen to none of them. I know what's in the friggin' Constitution. But I know what's in that agreement down there for, say, the specialty hospital. I don't know that. And you could say, but that's what the man tell me. That's what the man say about the agreement with China, the agreement with the United States. And in this world today, you can't go by what somebody say unless you see hardcore proof. And that's why I'm saying to the public out there, we have to get the evidence, we have to get the facts. And so sometimes when we have to depend on someone to give us information, it's not that the particular personality or grouping might be trying to mislead or deceive, but some things, Bahamians, are very touchy. We have to have the ability to send our own team out there and get it and record it. Then we know that's what the man say, because we were right there. And we know that's what the man say, because we got him on tape. We have my special guest today, Brother Hyla. Welcome to Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. See, I'll talk till Christ come back. I got to stop. I know you're sitting right there patiently. But Hyla, welcome to Global Radio 99.5.
Good day, Professor.
Good day to you.
Don't stop talking now. You got to talk till the man come back.
Well, that's what the man tells me.
Yeah, you got to keep talking.
Yes.
Professor, it's a lot going on right now, and today is a unique day. In quite a few ways. I'm happy for Grand Bahama. You mentioned Grand Bahama.
Yes, I did.
I'm not happy about what we're experiencing as a people on the whole, because we don't have enough people speaking up, coming together and taking action. Like you keep encouraging them, according to Article 24.1
of the Constitution.
Yeah, the right to organize themselves and to make their own determination. Grand Bahama, we're talking about decades of a situation.
Of course.
Where it is, to this point, today, we have to get outside help, outside or an arbitration tribunal to determine what the Constitution has already determined.
From its inception.
From the beginning.
That's right.
Professor, I'm sitting here as a student in your class, and you taught us that the Constitution says any other law or document that contradicts the Constitution to the extent that there is a disagreement, the Constitution shall rule supreme.
Article 2. That's correct.
Professor, how we get to the place where, and I'll use your term, you say we get into trouble when people write on these bits of paper.
Scraps of paper, yeah.
And you call it that because these are regulations, these are articles that are written, these are bylaws that are written, but none of them, no one in their imagination should come to the point where they believe that something that we write today is of greater importance, greater weight, or greater legal value than the Constitution of the Bahamas.
I'm glad you said it, because in all that I've heard, from all the different things I've heard out of Grand Bahama, those in the legal framework, those who in the business framework, every single thing that I've heard, not a single word, right up to this very day, March the 3rd, 2026, not a single word about the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. And I said to myself, what kind of crap is this? And the record is there to speak for itself, because I listened very carefully. Not a single word has ever been said about the supreme law of the land. I said, what are they operating on?
When the people really understand what you've been saying, because I don't think they understand.
No, I don't think
when they fully understand what you have been saying, and when they really wake up to understand that their rights were protected all along, but they were not acting upon it.
That's the problem.
Grand Bahama is like a desert wasteland because the Constitution is not ruling supreme over that land.
That is correct.
Now, there's a ruling that came down. Professor, I read some of because you said all of this time, not a single word about the Constitution.
Not a word. Nothing. See, I listened to everything that was coming out of Grand Bahama that I could get my hands on and what they were writing. and not one reference to the supreme law of this country. I had him talk about Hawksbill Creek Agreement. Give me a friggin' break, man.
Yeah, that's their God. And they are...
The Hawksbill Creek Agreement cannot supersede the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. But everybody talking
Professor,
crap.
it has superseded.
Because the people who are running things do not understand constitutional law.
Professor, I put it to you that either they don't understand or they understand and they're doing wickedness with it.
Well, let's put it this way. What does the record show? The record shows that they have not utilized the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas in governing the people of Grand Bahama and in governing the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That's what the record shows.
The Port Authority say they are the ultimate authority.
That's what they were saying. Is it true or false?
They also said that they are the regulator, the ultimate regulator for the Port.
Is that true or false? Are they the ultimate authority?
False,
yes or no?
False on the two counts.
Are they the regular authority? Yes or no?
False.
This is what I try to get people to understand. What the Constitution says is supreme. And here we are spending all this money at taxpayers' expense. And the man says these are little private things they haven't. But we don't know all the details. But the deals are beginning to come out now. And the point is the Constitution stands up.
But here's what's surprising to me, Professor.
Go ahead.
The government of the Bahamas said they won the case. And the Grand Bahama Port Authority say they win the case. The two sides say they win.
Thought it could happen.
Well, we got to talk after the break. Professor,
yeah, we have
the Port Authority won one of 8 issues that they put forward, a counterclaim, because it's the Bahamian government that took the Port Authority to court.
Yes, they did.
The Port Authority made a counterclaim, and they put forward 8 matters, and 7 of the 8 were rejected. So they grabbed the one and say, yeah, we win, we win, we win.
Yeah.
Because the panel said, you all have to pay that $357 million or whatever it is.
Okay.
But on the other side of it, they said, but you do owe the government of the Bahamas for every year of that Hawksbill Creek agreement.
Yeah, they got to go right back to.
So you got to go back to the beginning, and they would have made payments, you know.
Yeah.
They would have made payments.
Yeah.
But were they the correct payments?
That's the question.
So I like the way that this tribunal handled the case. They said, let's put the money on the side.
Yeah.
Let's deal with power and authority.
Who has the authority?
That's what they ruled on. And that's why Attorney General Ryan calls a partial ruling. Because they put the money on the side and say we can come back to the money later. But let's deal with the power and the authority. And they said the government of the Bahamas has the power and the authority over Grand Bahama and over Freeport, the port area. And everything under the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, over the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, on the left-hand side of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, on the right-hand side of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, round and round the merry-go-round, the government of the Bahamas have authority everywhere around that Hawksbill Creek Agreement, and it is subordinate to the government of the Bahamas. That's very important.
No, that's extremely important. That's constitutional. And I don't see why the government didn't see that.
Because perhaps we can get to it later. The same thing you told me to present. I ain't bring my homework, Professor. You told me to compile the information on 1992.
Yes.
Hubert Ingram, you told me to bring it forward.
Yes.
And you said, hi, look, bring it forward and lay it out. Yes. I'm going to lay it out.
Yes, sir.
Scraps of paper were written upon, and they were brought forward. And it made the port feel like they have ultimate authority. Not just the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, the East End Agreement,
and the West End Agreement.
And the West End Agreement.
These are the things that have been done by the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Yes, sir.
And have jacked up the country.
It's irresponsible, Professor.
And caused the taxpayers to spend money that they don't even have to spend.
And the tab's still running.
It's still running. Because you got to pay these people.
You have to pay these people. These London lawyers are not cheap.
They ain't cheap at all.
A reporter asked the Attorney General how much this costs us. They say they ain't finished charging us yet.
No, they ain't finished
The
charging.
bill ain't finished.
Yes, exactly.
And he said he didn't know.
Yeah.
He didn't know at that point.
At that point in time. But that's understandable.
But if they had asked him, could you tell us next week when we meet again or when we do a follow-up?
Yeah, but we need to get a tab. We need to get a tab of what that's
But after the break, we could break it down, Professor, but this is very critical.
Grand Bahama, you have to be serious. And not only just Grand Bahama, and the people of Freeport, but the entire Bahamas. Because this is going to affect the entire Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That is why I've been saying to you for years, your constitution is the supreme law of the land. Not no scraps of paper. Not no Hawksbill Creek Agreement.
The tribunal could have gone.
Well, that's only they could rule on.
We wouldn't go to it. So they went to it.
And the government didn't have enough sense to see the authority they had in the Constitution itself.
Okay.
That's what kind of people we got running this place. Oh. We got blind people who don't know nothing about constitutional authority, don't understand the Constitution, making bad decisions which affect all of us. That's the nuts and bolts of the whole exercise, Damien. The friggin' East Agreement and West Agreement. That's why I said these things have to be exposed and brought forward.
Those agreements do not agree with the Constitution.
But that's just my point.
Those agreements didn't
agree
with the Constitution.
So the people who were writing these things and people who were given authority, given authority to run this country, in one case, one party 55 years, the next party 70 years. Give me a friggin' break, man. They were filing up this country from its inception.
Professor, what was done in Grand Bahama, to me, is the equivalent of selling one piece of property to two different people, or selling a car to two different people and photocopying it and giving two bill of sale to two different people.
I think it might be more than two. It might be three or four. This is Professor Sidney. I had the music in the background. My producer is being very patient with me today. This is such a hot topic. Grand Bahama, we want to hear from you. And people in the family, I want to hear from you as well. Because these are the things we should be discussing. But we ain't doing that. We're just talking foolishness and nonsense while the country goes to hell. Article 2 says any other law, Hawksbill Creek Agreement law, whatever kind of funny law, whatever scraps of paper they wrote crap on, is null and void if it is contrary to the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. And see, even statute laws they pass in the House of Assembly. I mean, dig up all them statute laws they pass in the House of Assembly where they wrote foolishness and nonsense, and you let them behave. You sit right on your backside and allow them to throw this crap on top of us. I got to stop. This is Professor Sidney McGarta, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. We're going to go to the break. The lines are open 326-0272, 813-0271. When I get hot like this now, I don't know when to stop. This is Professor Sidney McGarta, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. We'll be back after the break.
Express yourself live. We'll return right after this.
This is Lenny Green from the Quiet Storm, inviting you to join me tonight starting at 7 p.m. as I serve you that ear candy that you love, baby. I'm dropping all your favorite slow jams like this.
Sunlight's gone, but the moon's so bright. Oh, about to cruise down my Holland Drive.
This.
You show love.
So lock in with me. It's the Quiet Storm, baby. Bahamas #1 for R&B. It's Global 99.5 FM.
Do you have video games and consoles for sale? What about lawn and garden tools, silver or gold? At Cash Whiz, they'll give you top dollar for them right now. Absolutely nobody puts money in your pockets quicker. So why be broke? If you need money right now, tell Cash Whiz downtown Bay Street and get cash on the spot. You can also save 70% on in-store purchases, tools, electronics, watches, and jewelry, all at unbelievable prices. Cash Whiz, telephone 322-2456. Get money in your pocket now.
Stay current, stay compliant with NIB. For a limited time only, registered employers and self-employed persons can receive up to 75% off accumulated interest on their contribution arrears through NIB's interest interest arrears waiver program. Available now until March 31st, 2026. If your business is behind, visit your nearest NIB office or contact your inspector today. NIB, supporting businesses, securing the fund. Act now, comply today, grow tomorrow.
Whether it's a special anniversary or your next big getaway, we are the best choice. We carry the quality you deserve when you're looking for handbags, shoes, belts, small leather goods, backpacks, or luggage. Experience quality you can feel with Land, Rioni, Kipling, Guess, Travelite, and more. Visit us at any of our 3 locations: Brass and Leather at the mall at Marathon and downtown on Charlotte Street, and the luggage store on East Avenue in Centerville. Shop with us today. You will not regret it.
Wise Bahamian shoppers know when times are hard and things are tough, it's more sensible and convenient to shop at Y-Cares Fashion Center. Y-Cares has slashed prices on brand name clothing and shoes by up to 50%, including academics, clocks, polo, and hundreds of jeans and khaki pants, and as much as 70% on selected items. Choose from a large selection of beds, sheets, rugs, and towels, all at affordable prices. Y-Cares on 3 locations to serve you: Bahama Avenue, French Charles, and East Street South near the Sir Charles Hotel. Y-Cares, where you can afford to look good.
From South Beach to Bay Street.
I'm pleased, I really dig your company.
It's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney McArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. Bahamians, it is so ridiculous. The very people who you give authority to run the place, man, are so blind, they can't even see. And now you got to pay these high-priced attorneys to tell you what's already in the friggin' Constitution. Does that make any sense? But yet you gave them authority to run the place, and now we got to pay all this money at taxpayers' expense, and the burden is going to be heavy on us for a period of time. We don't know how long it's going to be, but this is what's been happening to us for the last 52 years, going on 53 years. One party been there for 70 years in the House of Assembly. That's the PLP. The next one, 51 years. That's the Free National Movement. And what we have done was given each of them this massive landslide of seats when they've been in an election. And neither of it has been good for us. Right now, the fellow say he got 32 seats. 2 by-elections, he got the 2 seats back. 32. The next one got 7. You see how crappy that is? Then prior to that, it was 35-4. These are hardcore facts the electorate has done. We have to look at the evidence. What the heck are we doing, Bahamians? What is the electorate saying? What are we doing? We got the evidence right there looking at you. 35-4. Then the last one, 32-7. Where you going with that? And on either side is of no use to us in this country. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Professor.
Yes, sir.
And your guest there.
Yeah, Brother Hyla.
Hi, good day.
Hyla, how you doing, man?
You're doing well.
Okay.
Good. Listen to me, though. First things first, Brother Thompson.
Yeah.
You talk about 5 to 34 and 7 to 32. You won't see that no more.
What you mean you won't see that anymore?
Opposition will be in double numbers.
Wait, hold on. Slow down. Caller. Slow down. It was 35-4 in the election before the last one. Then it was 32-7.
Yeah.
What do you think the electorate is saying to us? What are they looking for?
Changes. They put government in positions. They don't need no opposition to sign off to change nothing. They can change things by themselves with the amount of seats that they have in the parliament.
But is it happening?
No, and I don't. That's a question. I'd want to know why. But what I call you on to is that this Grand Bahama situation.
Yes.
This was almost finished with in 1994.
Okay.
Mr. Ingram went ahead and re-signed a new agreement with them for another 50 years.
Yes.
That was that finish, you know.
Okay.
That was that finish. So we have to throw the blame where the blame should be thrown, because we've done over that. Our people, my forefathers, and you yourself at your age, y'all have already fight for that. Y'all have already gone through that.
Yes, that is
correct.
correct.
Now bring that and put that on us, the younger one.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, you said when you started the show, you said it's talking about headlines in the papers and the news.
Yes.
Trying to shake up today.
Okay.
The Chinese charged with some drugs and some illegal tobacco and stuff, and they're not charged, but arrested.
Arrested, yeah, okay.
One Haitian charged for killing two in.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah.
In Harbour Island.
Harbour Island, that's correct.
It look like the Bahamian people behaving now.
When you say they're behaving,
this morning.
Say that.
All of those aliens, what you call them?
No, aliens, strangers, foreigners, aliens, and outsiders.
That's all I hear making news this morning.
Yeah, okay, that happens. Yeah, that's happening. Yeah.
You know, I thinking now. I see those Africans are being quiet for a while.
Yes, okay.
I can be honest. They are black brothers, but I don't trust some of them.
Right now, slow down, caller. Who brothers? Brothers to who?
I mean, in terms of colors. We all of us from Africa. You know, that's what they say. As long as there's a black man, there's an African man.
Is that true or false?
You know, I don't know.
Oh, okay, all right. Let's leave that right here.
You're the professor. Whatever you say, I can take your lead on that one.
Okay,
but
all right.
It is like
caller, you still there?
The people right here, right now.
Yeah.
And I have to put a little politics in it. I was in a conversation on Friday night. We were just discussing. We was trying to march some candidates.
Okay.
F and M PLB candidates, one or two candidates from the COI.
Yes.
We put them in the mix.
Yes.
I think this is basically another good run for the Brave Davis administration. Because what has happened is that the official opposition haven't given the people nothing to bite on. Yes, they have.
Okay.
There are a couple of candidates that I think, worthy of saying, maybe if I was there, to vote for as a Bahamian person, not as a party. I am a supporter of the PLB. That's no secret. Anybody knows
no, that's fine. You can be a supporter of that party.
Yeah.
But
when you're a good person, whether you PLB, F&M, COI, M&M, I don't care what you are. If you're a good person, you're a good person.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I look. And I think this election is going to count on a lot of people voting for the candidate and not the party.
Now, that's a good point. I'm glad you mentioned that.
See, they're going to vote for the candidate.
For the candidate and not the party.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this question.
Two things you need to win. And people get mad with me when I say this. You have that popularity and you have that numbers.
Okay.
Because if you get 5 and I get 3, I can never beat you.
No, you can't.
Okay, you're going to need numbers to win, and Bahamian people will see, and that is what Rick Fox thought he could get away with.
But you got to ask that
not
fellow.
As popular in the Bahamas as you think he really is.
Caller, just ask the fellow who lost by 4 votes.
What's he do?
Ask the fellow who lost by 4 votes, doing foolishness and nonsense. You know the particular personality. I won't call the name of the particular personality. 4 votes. He has
been prime minister. He has been in the House of Assembly over almost 40 years.
That's right.
Come back and get beat by 4 votes.
By a greenhorn. A greenhorn personality.
Yeah.
I think we can see a lot of that happen in this upcoming election.
No, I'm going to tell you why I said no. The PLP is running a campaign. Let me tell you something. The PLP hasn't done everything right, Dr. Thompson.
Okay.
But the PLP has done enough to campaign on to win.
Let me ask you one question then. Can you name any major national problems that this current administration, the PLP administration, has solved on behalf of the Bahamian people And these are, hold on, man, because nobody has answered these questions, man.
Go ahead.
These are the clear-cut benefits we are enjoying today as a result of these major national problems having been solved. You know of them doing anything like that?
Can I name maybe some of them that I think they have done?
Go ahead.
The housing.
What housing?
They're correcting those. Under this,
I asked you. No, hold on. Stop right there. You know what I asked you? I said major national.
Housing is not a major problem.
Why don't you listen to the question, please? Major national problems that have been solved. I don't talk about problems what they're trying to solve. I'm not interested in that.
But you got to try somewhere in order to solve it.
But they have had 70 years. Caller.
In order for you to get to the top.
Caller, listen to me.
From the bottom, you got to start from somewhere.
But I'm not saying you shouldn't start from somewhere. Pilling said, wipe every tear from every eye. Have you told them that recently?
That, People always say Pilling say that. But can I correct you? Like how I used to correct my teacher sometimes.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was Mr. Eddie Hanna that said that. Pilling never said that. It was Eddie Hanna that said that.
Listen.
Check the history on it.
Listen to me. Pendling was head of the government, right?
Yeah, but Eddie Hanna said that.
Yeah, but he may have said it, but he said, wipe every tear from every eye.
Yeah, but okay, let me
that
tell
is
you
what that was the whole purpose of the PLP government coming to power. All the way back from Jeffrey Thompson time in 1967.
But let me tell you what's happening. My constituency, why I will support my member of parliament again. Mr. Renwood Wells was member of parliament in Bamboo Town for nine years. We had a problem in Bamboo, in my area where I live in Jones Heights. Before Renwood Wells came in, we talk about it every meeting. We talk about it. We just had lights.
You had a problem with lights?
Just test the lights on the lamp,
Oh, okay, all right.
Just as there's speed bumps through the corner.
Right.
The lady came in less than 2 years. The same little things we was active for over 9 years.
Okay.
Small little things. We have garbage collection twice a week. You can count on that.
Oh, okay, all right.
All of this bush, what we had around here, where the old people, we had a lot of old people be around here in the daytime. Because this is more like people retirement home, they living around here.
No, that's understandable.
That woman only not pushed the bush back,
Okay.
She cleaned the bush up. You go in some constituency, they push the bush back to the back of the property. She cleaned it. See, there's some little things she did. This is the first time Bamboo Town, from Tennyson Wells those time, we ever have a urban renewal office.
Okay.
We had a thing in Domingo in Domingo Heights.
Domingo Heights, yeah, I know that area. Yeah, that's part of the area.
And stuff. All of that is now being stopped because of the urban renewal. This woman is doing well. I can support her again. Support her again.
Now you talk about her the cleaning up the bush. What about the lives of the people in that particular constituency? Because you speak very highly about this particular personality.
Yes.
What major constituency problems has she solved?
Like I said, we had a light problem. We had a road problem. We had, because of security with the bush, tell that woman that these was little things we were asking for. This woman coming in less than 2 years and did these things what we were asking for.
So all the vacant properties in Bamboo Town. Slow down.
We want to support her.
Slow down, call.
Then she won.
Yeah,
she never parked up and left. She stayed right in the community with us. She's still here today.
So now
that is what made she remind me of a Cynthia Mother Pratt. She never moved. She never let that little money get to her like some of the politicians the minute when they park up and go. She is still here with us today. So when my light off, her light off. When my water coming rusty, her water coming rusty.
Okay.
See, that is what made me really want to stay and stick with her.
Oh, okay.
She ain't never leave us. She ain't abandon us. Christmas time, she do like everybody else, come around do a Christmas day. But but I ain't counting on that. I counting on the principle of us staying here with us and not abandoning us and leaving us.
Okay. Now, name me one major problem that she has solved.
I've already told you. You asked me this 3 times, and I'm telling you. Major problems in Bamboo Town. The road on East Street, that was like a roller coaster road. When was the last time you drove on East Street from Soldier Road to the Southeast Police Station? Poisek Road. Poisek, I call it Poisek. We call it our South Beach I-95 now.
Does it have proper markings on it?
It has proper markings and it has proper lighting. Take a ride, man. Take a ride one Sunday riding. Just come on one Sunday and drive around in Bamboo Town.
Okay.
The streets in Kennedy Sub. I talk about road. They used to have some potholes. You ever hear about the road where the people used to put the crate and stuff in the hole in the road?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. Ride on those streets now. She came a long way. But you know what happened to? She wasn't somebody that the government just went to pick up and say, man, come run with us. Okay. This woman grew up into the organization. She know politics. Oh, she'd run a campaign with Bernard Norris. She'd run a campaign with Kadiata Gibson. She'd run a campaign with Rambert Wells. Now this is her time. She knows what to do now. She had learned as she was coming up.
Okay.
See, I can talk highly about her because when I was second vice chairman of the Young Liberals, she was the secretary. So we grew up in this organization. We ain't just come from someplace and jump in here.
Mm. I don't know if you about the Honorable George Mackey, who is called Honest George. He was the MP for Fox Hill, and he always talked about the party. My beloved. Yeah, my beloved. Yeah, yes. He always talked about the party allowing people to get front seat as representatives in the House of Assembly and didn't go through the ranks of the party. You know about that?
Well, I heard of that. That happens all around.
That happens all around. You think that's still happening today?
Around. I don't agree with it, but it happens all around.
No, he never agreed with that.
See, this lady here that I speak so highly of.
He never agreed with it. No, but this lady you speak highly about.
She came up into the organization.
Yeah, okay.
You know, and sometimes you could bite a bullet off the FNM. When you have people like Dion Folks and Tommy Turnquist and those, they came up from the torchbearers.
Yes,
they came up in the organization. See, I can respect somebody. Win or lose, I can respect somebody like that.
All right, fair enough.
You know, but I can continue listening to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Caller has a lot of faith in the particular representative in Bamboo Town. I tried to get him to tell me what major problems this particular representative solved on behalf of the. He talked about the road. I got to check this road out, but he talking about and see what's in that particular area. But Bahamians, you have to look at what is happening. What about the quality of life in those particular areas? I believe we have another caller on the line. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Professor.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Yeah.
I see this. I see this fella. Say that again.
Still have a lot of people, but still stuck on stupid. Not to say that, but stuck. They lost.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? They still they run on the road and all this different. Like you said, the quality of life, Professor.
That's what I'm
How
trying
much people dying in the hospital? How much no medicine?
But
the food prices high. The gas going up now.
But he ain't saying nothing about them things.
No, you ain't no, Professor. You could ride. Why? How you gonna ride on them road and you ain't got no gas to ride on them?
You ain't got no gas.
You ain't got no gas inside your house.
You got to catch bus if you got a couple of dollars to catch the
bus. And the bus don't go down by that.
No, they don't.
So, Professor, the human people see, and this the food. If these people their food, Professor, you know what's bugging me, Professor? They've been riding on the holy road for almost 4 years, 4.5 years.
Yes.
Now they get paid. Now they smoke. They're smiling.
Yeah, but this is just prior to the election. I've seen this from 67, man. This ain't nothing new to me.
That's correct.
I have watched election after election after election how political parties have been operating. The FNM and the PLP. And nothing has changed. So why we don't stop talking foolishness and nonsense? But what I do see is I see many deaths. I see a lot of pain. I see a lot of suffering. I told him, Mr. Lyndon Pinling said, wipe every tear from every eye. That was the whole purpose of the PLP administration, was to wipe every tear from every eye. Has that happened yet?
Yeah, but Professor, you said the party's been being in power for 70 years.
70 years, the PLP has had the opportunity to do it. Now, what more they could do? Tell me what more they can do. 70 solid years the people of this country gave them. They should have solved every problem in this country, every constituency problem, every national problem. But that ain't happened. So what's the problem? I pointed out to him the electorate from all the way back from 68 right on up to 2026, giving massive landslides of seats to the PLP, giving massive landslides seats to the FNM. We said, ain't got no problem solved. What's the difference? What is the electorate saying? What is it do they want? They got to make up their mind what you want.
See, Professor
Yeah, go ahead.
died yesterday. Mind shallow. They don't, like I tell you, Professor, or every time they call this talk show, they don't mind. They get a little taste of half with some noodles and they get a little can gas. They can go to the pump to pull up water. They don't mind it. That's the mindset of the Bahamian people now. They don't. These Bahamian people right now, Professor, they want what's going on in this country. I don't understand what's going on.
I don't understand.
We're supposed to be having barricades. The police. They're supposed to have more roadblocks now to try to get these people to make sure these Bahamian people are doing better. Professor, when you put people in power, they say, oh, you can't depend on the government or all. Professor, you put these people in power
there to depend on the
and
government.
make sure you have a better life.
Yes, that is correct.
So I hate when the people talk with that, oh, this and that and all that. You come to your house and tell them what they could do. And they didn't live up. They didn't live up to what they had to say. And then you go put these people. The people come out the next 5 years and say the same thing to you, and you still go put the big rocket. But Professor, I ain't gonna argue. But sometimes I just, but I can't stop calling the talk show, Professor. I ain't gonna let them cause me to stop or stop talking to these people who mind just leaving underground. It's like they living underground, Professor. Man, come on, man. It's a third world country. We next to a superpower country. How in the world we still living like we still cheaper, Professor? Cheaper we get the horse them out. Cheaper we get horses out. Cheaper we put back on the straight, them straws straight, and we still cheaper we out our walks and things.
Yes. Cheaper
we go back to that because the Bahamian people are shallow. They're not seeing what's going on, man, and that's why we have a lot of kids them going up and causing problems because their parents ain't looking out for the kids them. So what you want the kids them to do, Professor?
It's a major problem.
Professor, if you 13 and 14 years old, you got to defend and look for food and fight. My man, I said, boy, I didn't have to do that.
Even when I was that age, right, and I had a part-time job, my mother and father always took care of the family. The money that I made I was able to save it. And that's what my mother and father taught us to do, to save the money. We didn't have to spend it. My first job was at City Market, right there where they have the ministry right there on Rosetta Street. Yeah. And I remember the manager, Mr. Harris, he gave me a job there. And I made a lot of good tips as a packing boy, and that was a great experience for me. I could remember up to the day how to pack groceries, and we had paper bags to pack them in. But it was a good experience, and it taught you discipline and character, you know. But what we see happening now, we just have too much slackness, too many debts, too many sorrows, and I'm very disturbed over that. It is the duty of the government of the Bahamas to protect the interests of the people. Why are you spending all this money? For what purpose? And we don't see any clear-cut benefits. That's why I asked the man about benefits. What problem will be solved? What benefits? He talked about roads. That's for them who could drive on them, who got cars. But what about the quality of life? What about the people who are living in that particular constituency, and not only Bamboo Town, but other constituencies as well? I look at Centerville. Look at the condition of Centerville. Starting with Fort Fincastle, coming all the way from Fort Fincastle and heading south, and heading east, and heading west. You see deteriorating conditions in that particular constituency. And right up where I am, the 4 sets of steps are all broke up. You can't even walk down them anymore unless you hurt yourself. Caller, you still there?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Professor, the Bahamian people after wake up. I don't even see, because when you have people them that age calling in, talking with roads, talking with this and that and all, and they put the feet to these fire. The government was being wrong a long time. They should know what's going on, Professor. How much more time you want them to go around the round table?
I don't know.
And this island only 21/7, and we get island them, but you only have so much people on it.
Yeah, that's correct.
What you have to do to get this country together, Professor?
You ask a good question. We have to wisen up very quickly before we lose it.
But they don't do it. They don't do it this last, Professor.
If we don't get our house in order, we could be in for a rude awakening. We have to do it now while we have the time, because time will run out on us. Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to go to a break, and when we get back from the break, we'll continue. This is Professor Sidney McArthur, Walter Thompson. The lines are open 326-0271. This is Hot Topics Tuesday, and Bahamas, there's a lot. I want to hear from them people in Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama, don't go quiet on me today. Did you get your money? They say they pay out the checks. Did you get all the money? Because I heard them talk about they going to invest with some other people now. I don't know. And they say they're looking for jobs for those who were in the hotel, and they can put them elsewhere or find new jobs for them. I don't know. But Grand Bahama, you got to say something about these things. This is Professor Sidney McArthur, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. We'll be back after the break.
Express Yourself Live. We'll return right after this.
Y'all know what time it is.
Catch the Jeff Fox Show on the afternoon drive. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. 99.5.
Myra Scents and Gifts, formerly Bed and Bath Concepts, is located at the Mall at Marathon. They've got gift baskets, gift sets, teddy bears, and women handbags. You will also find the best selection of perfumes, especially the now hard to find ones like Love to Nude for men and women, Red Door, Perry Ellis, White Diamond, and an assortment of Arabian perfumes, just to name a few. It's Myra Scents and Gifts. Friendly atmosphere, affordable prices, satisfied customers. Come on in. We're open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on weekdays and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Telephone 393-5958. Myra Scents and Gifts.
Nassau Motor Company knows that finding the right part for your car is important. That's why you can count on us to give you a quality AC Delco part, like maintenance-free batteries for quicker starts and pressure-tested water pumps for years of smooth operation. AC Delco parts are made to strict GM specifications and fit most cars and trucks in the Bahamas. Nassau Motor Company, AC Delco, and you, a winning combination.
Bahamas Liquidation and Auction Center has launched an online auction website. Now you can browse, cast your bid, and win amazing items like some of these winners.
I just won this blender for $55 on BahamasLiquidation.com. I won this suitcase set for $100 at BahamasLiquidation.com.
And now it's your turn. Simply grab your laptop or smart device and log on to BahamasLiquidation.com. Once you reach the main webpage, click on the My Account option where you can go to register. After filling in the necessary information, hit register and you're good to go. Happy bidding! Please have your credit card on hand, as the winning bidder is responsible to pay for the winning items within 30 minutes of the auction closing. The winner must collect the items in store within 24 hours after the auction is closed. Please note that a 3.5% service charge will be added to your winning bid amount at checkout.
I won this HP laptop for $120 at BahamasLiquidation.com.
I won this magic bullet for only $35 at BahamasLiquidation.com.
Bahamas Liquidation Auction Center,
where you say hello to goodbye.
From Cable Beach to Montague, it's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Yeah, let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Yeah. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney McArthur, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network. And let me just say this to the Bahamian people. Road maintenance is an ongoing thing. Paving roads is ongoing. Fixing potholes is ongoing. In fact, some of them don't even last long enough. They don't seem to get the right kind of material to put on these roads where they can last for 25, 30, or even up to 50 years and don't have to dig them up anymore. because the markings on the streets are not there. Where are the reflectors? Even on the island in Providence, dark in the night, you can't see where the heck you're going. No wonder why we have so many accidents. Well, what are purported to be accidents, which could be avoided if we have proper street lighting. And the absence of proper street lighting, all you have to do is put the reflectors. If the reflectors are on the left side of the road, the middle of the road, the right side of the road, you can see exactly where you're going. But we don't have any reflectors. You just have some paint markings in the road, white paint markings, and you don't always see them. But the reflectors, when your light hits onto them, you'll be able to see where you're going. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please. You have a caller?
Hello?
Yeah, caller, go ahead, please.
Hey, Professor, and Brother Hyla, how y'all doing?
Yeah, we're doing well.
All right, Professor, when you go into the commercial break, it's so important what you be saying, man. But I can't concentrate with that music in the background like that, man. I can't meditate on what you're saying, and it's so very important. Now the caller, he only has half an hour of PLP propaganda. You all can send him a bill. But Professor, the road ain't right yet. They ain't down as far. They pay it looks nice and smooth, but they stopped just before Calvary Deliverance. They really down as far as Burger King. Up in Burger King area, still bad. Phoenix Bar. Bar right there up in there still bad, but they didn't do a come down as far as just before Calvary Deliverance. Yeah, and the road ain't striped yet. That's a blind man. I'm talking to you, man. So he can't tell you nothing but it. The road ain't striped yet neither. But this what I really call about too. Brother Hyla.
Hey,
Brother Hyla still there?
Yeah, I'm
here. Brother Hyla's right here.
Okay, but the other day when you did the show for Holding for Professor, me and you was talking, and we was talking about the gentleman with the passport coming back from the States, and then he was found that he had a legal passport he obtained illegally.
Right.
And then me and you were saying, but how dangerous that is. Now look what happening now. A father and son.
It happened again. Yeah.
Right, it's happened again.
I see
Trying
that.
to register to vote. Obtain a legal passport illegally through some type of marriage, illegal marriage and everything, but trying to register to vote. I mean, you see how dangerous that was just the other day?
Definitely.
Now you see what's happening?
Right.
Now, we always used to say, like, when the U.S. catch a shipment or cocaine or something in the States, we always used to say, well, they catch that one, but 10 others gone through. Same thing, they catch that one, but how much others then pass through? How much others have this type of passport obtained it the same way? How much of them register going to vote in these elections the same way?
Definitely. And by you saying that, we got a report from the parliamentary commissioner that there was a sharp increase in registration.
Right.
Right at the close of the year, 2025, coming into 2026, is a sharp increase. Now, is it that Bahamians just all of a sudden decided that, you know what, all of us gonna just go and vote, or is it a foreign influence? Because it could be.
That's exactly why I say it too.
All right.
Right. And what you gotta look at with our Bahamians, them selling their birthright too, because for them to obtain these passports, someone working within the passport office or someone too. So we got to start seeing some employees going to court and thing now and thing too. They can't obtain these things on by themselves. Money, getting them these things. And I hang up and finish. Listen, man, great show.
Yeah, thank you, caller. That's a very important point the caller made. People with fraudulent documents, fraudulent passports, registering to vote in the general election. Now that is very dangerous. And it is very prevalent as it stands now, even though we heard what the parliamentary commissioner said. And he might mean well in what he's saying, but I'm looking at the enforcement. Where's the enforcement against fraudulent documentation in this country? Go ahead.
Well, Professor, while you're waiting on the enforcement, let me add to that. Why don't we take a look at the mindset of our government? Because that bill that came before the parliament before the public cry out and say, wait, what y'all doing? Before the asylum bill, before all the eyes took a look at that bill, they had to take out a clause that said those found with fraudulent documents would not be charged. So look at the mindset, Professor.
Okay.
What you talking about? Those found with fraudulent documents. Because you're trying to say the person trafficking or the person who may be driving the boat or the person who may be organizing people to basically migrate against the law.
Right.
So you want to target the organizer.
Right.
But you want to take away all guilt from the person who have the document in their hand.
Right, yeah.
No, that's our mindset. That's what our leaders were attempting to do. That one is in the books. Now they took the clause out, but why was it there in the first place?
That's a good question.
You know?
Yes.
And while I'm at it, overstaying. We had the law on the book that we are not going to penalize persons for overstaying. That was in the law before the public outcry.
Yeah.
So if we didn't cry out and speak up, Professor, you always tell us to speak up, right?
Right.
If we didn't speak up, wasn't that going to stay in the law?
It would have been right there.
That would have been law right now. That a person found with the same cases that are coming up with the father and son and the other people found with these documents,
yes,
they would have been let go free based on the same law that was put before the people of the Bahamas.
Yes, that's correct.
Professor, the mindset,
I think the mindset is terrible because obviously you have some people who are selling out the birthright of the Commonwealth.
As far as I'm concerned, it starts with the government.
People of influence who are in the system, who are pulling us down by giving out fraudulent documents. And that is a problem. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon to you, Professor Thompson.
Hey,
how are
Dr.
you?
P, what'd you say, man?
I'm right in the hands of the Lord.
Yeah, well,
That's the best time to be in.
Amen.
I can't blame you for that.
And also to your guests.
Yeah,
hey, good day.
Yes. Professor, I want to congratulate you in terms of educating the public at large on the issue such as the Constitution.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes you feel like you are in the wilderness and you feel sometimes alone.
Yes.
But you remember Joseph, when his brother then betrayed him, he thought he was also alone too.
That's correct, yeah.
As I listen to the news, now the education that you've been educating the public at large, it seems like there's some truth to these fraudulent docket. I heard a father and a son this morning was charged with a document that I think that the police already made a decision that they should not have had.
Okay.
And we heard the news. There's nothing being made up. These are facts. So it seems like the public at large were on the right track with you educating them.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm gonna go on a limb, and I'm not gonna put your show in any trouble. But after all these issues now the evidence is becoming clear, I really believe that there are persons who are consulting and the minister. I think they should there are some questions that they should answer to the public, and I think the minister should be fired.
Okay.
I mean, I don't understand what taking my good prime minister that I love so much to fire Mr. Alfred says. The people, the public at large, he is not popular. And the evidence is clear. He needs to be fired. What do you say? Or why people have a problem with saying that? He should be fired forthwith, because I am not a fan of his. Am I making any sense?
Caller, You have a right to express that view. And unfortunately, with our people, we are not looking at what is happening in the system. Here's another thing what the government is not doing. Have you heard of any massive roundups of foreigners in this country? You hear them talk about they having raids, they're breaking down shanty towns. What about the people in the shanty towns? Where have they gone? I even understand in some of the islands, the fellas go and make up another shanty town.
Let me say this, and I hope my sister have a resort, and she went through the legal channel.
Yes.
She went through the legal channel of getting someone that she needed to work.
Right.
And this person that they sent her speak no English. I said, well, how did that happen? She said, well, she went through the legal channel and this person was ratified to her. And the person can't speak a bit of English, but the person have passport. So I did not want to believe these allegations, but it seems and appear that these allegations are true.
Yes.
And the Minister of Immigration is being chauffeured, having access to all, and we, the employer, cannot ask him a question. He will not come on Professor Thompson talk shows. He will not come. I know something is wrong. Okay. I, for one, I would fire him on a piece of toilet paper, like I think one of the prime ministers did that to someone. I would fire him because I think something is going on with those consultants. He have wronged them. And I believe the consultant that is wrong there in immigration, I am believing they off people from the South. They tie somewhere and their loyalty is not to the Bahamas. I have a right to say that. I don't believe their loyalty is to this country. And also some of these Creole-speaking pastors who are paying for their people. These Creole-speaking, some of these Creole-speaking pastors and churches, you check, their churches are more full than the organically Bahamian churches. And the Bahamian pastors, some of them, they're running after contract and their personal gain, and they could give a heck about the organic Bahamian fighting and standing up for them, like Dr. Brown, Dr. Colebrook, Reverend C.W. Sanders of yesteryear. They're all about being friends, while the Creole-speaking pastors are fighting for their people. There's got to be a conspiracy. I'll hang up and listen to both of you.
Yes.
Well, Professor.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me just add to the conversation that in case we missed the report last week, those who may have been found with fraudulent documents, but also, you could say, charged or incarcerated, but non-violent. In other words, you were found with a document or you overstayed. If you end up getting locked up, I want to make sure the Bahamian public knows that we were just told by the Minister of National Security that the prison is too full, so we're going to release them early, Professor.
These people who were to be sentenced for having fraudulent documents.
Immigrants who are incarcerated,
yes,
are now being released and set free, repatriated or deported on the condition that you don't return back to the Bahamas.
I don't know. I have no faith in that piece of crap. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Professor Sidney, Makata, Walter Thompson, and Dr. Hyla, Berenice Johnson, the original. First, I must give thanks to the Almighty God through Jesus Christ of Nazareth, the Holy Spirit enveloping us, and victory in this Lenten season for all under the sound of my voice. I only call Mr. Thompson to correct, I think, one of your callers.
Okay.
when he said that former Prime Minister was the one who signed the 1995 file over in Grand Bahama.
Okay.
That was signed by William Allen. He was the substantial Minister of Finance. However, because he was the Prime Minister, his name will appear on that, and also the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Ms. Berenice,
yes.
would you say that Mr. Ingram is responsible for that agreement?
No.
He is not
William
responsible.
Allen, well, as the Prime Minister, but I'm saying that it has to happen with the Minister of Finance. Okay, because Mr. Sidney Thompson, he was there with Philippa Russell when that 1995 file, when they said that the Haitians were given $200. Do you remember that? Because William August,
I don't remember that, but getting
August
back,
Williams,
I think.
what is his name? Mr. Williams. I think he was. He's
Berenice.
F&M. Yes.
Okay.
I believe you got to get clarity on what
Berenice,
Hyla was talking about.
Two things, two dates. Let's keep in mind.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about when Roy Archer, brother-in-law, calling that Ferguson young man.
Understood.
Okay.
Mr. Roy Archer Senior. All of them appeared on 97.5 Love station.
Yes,
okay, so all of my information that I shared over there, we take and we access the audio. Also on all of Philippa Russell's show. This is where we send all of the clarities. And I always stated, because people are out there saying about reparation, the British monarchy and the colonialistics are separate and apart from each other. We ought to have had, what's the word now, self-sufficiency from 1980 or before that. Okay, the Duke of Windsor, who ought to have officiate at the independence ceremony, he died suddenly over in, I think it was France. Okay, so when you come down to the Constitution, some of it, you have to realize that we do not have the Declaration of Independence officially yet. And this is why you see
stop
our
right there. What do you
nation
mean? Wait, hold on now. What declaration are you talking about?
The declaration. Will you ask any of those women who are teaching the Constitution? That is why we said it's an esoteric duty. Now they have adopted in the statute law certain things because Dame Joan Sawyer and also I think Mrs. Boswick might have been sort of interactive with that. But the late John Henry Boswick Sr., we know all of the ins and outs. And this is one of the reasons why our nation need not panic, okay? Because the titular head is still the British monarchy, and the self-sufficiency for each and every household shall happen. And that situation over in Grand Bahama is blamed on the Edward St. John. No, they are hiding behind white human beings because you have certain individuals who are anti-God, anti-Jesus, and anti-Holy Spirit, and they are connected with the United Nations, some of them, and that is where Reagan, he wanted to toss them out of the U.S. However, the building is the property of the United Nations. And I can go back to the history, but I think we will have that clear. That is why collectively, all of our prime ministers has to deal with it. This is no regular political electorate that is going on because with the Haitian Creole Flag Day that started on Fort Charlotte, and those people there know that I know. That's why you see they try to stop me. But I am here to cause the dignity of humanity first and foremost as Bahamian, and then by extension with the template to the region and then the world. Okay? That is the best thing for our Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Okay, that's the point he wants to make to you. Go ahead.
Berenice.
I'm sorry for that, Mr. Hyla.
No problem. Berenice, in the interest of dignity for all Bahamians, I understand what you're saying, the dignity of humanity. Berenice, we have to take a look at mistakes that may have been made, because we're not always going to agree on whether we could characterize something as a mistake. We are here talking about actions that took place in the past. if we do not figure out what is going wrong now and change our course of action, or figure out what has happened in the past and figure out our course of action now to get to a better place, we're going to be in problem. We're going to be like God's people walking around in the desert, round and round and round, and nothing changing. I'm submitting to you. Let me submit to you, because you say, see, any prime minister of the Bahamas, even though he has ministers serving at his pleasure, you cannot have it two ways. You cannot be the head of a team and take accolades. There's an announcement, 8 p.m. tonight. We have a national address, apparently. We saw on notice. Tonight at 8 p.m., we have an address from the Prime Minister. All I'm saying to you, Berenice, you cannot take all of the accolades and, on the one side, and if there's a mistake made, you cannot point to a particular minister and say, well, okay, he is responsible for anything that goes wrong, and the Prime Minister takes credit for everything that goes right.
No, sir. No, sir. I'm not saying that.
No, but Mr. Williams, when he served with Mr. Ingram, we cannot say it was not Mr. Ingram. Mr. Ingram is the head of the cabinet.
Jeffrey August Williams served under, I think that was minister, when he went over to Haiti when the Haitian president was murdered. I'm speaking about when the re-signing of the Grand Bahama Port Authority agreement. That's what the
1994.
The 1995. When he said that it was reinstated. Okay, because Sir Albert Miller, who was a former police officer, he was there and he knew, and we have the memoirs of the late Sir Albert Miller, and also Mrs. Janet Bostwick's sister, Miss Willie Morse, Musgrove Morse, and Mr. Michael Morse. They were there also. Okay, so it has to be dealt with biblical discipline resolve.
Berenice.
Yes.
I subscribe and I agree with biblical resolve. We are in a problem where there's confusion in the Bahamas, and because we cannot come to a biblical resolve, we have to go back to London and ask them to please rule on our behalf on this particular matter. We shouldn't have to. This is what the professor is saying. We should not. We have a Bible, we have a constitution, and we have too many broke Bahamians. We have too many foreigners in the country. We have too poor of a healthcare system. We don't own our banks. Our banks are virtually all foreign. And the one or two that's owned by Bahamians, they seem to be profiting off of excessive fees and taxes.
I agree.
So we are in a difficult place, and all I'm saying,
are not. That is why proactive works and faithfulness and fearlessness shall resolve this for our people, because the banks now that are being answered by Caribbean people, those financial institutions all were investigated from when Mrs. Octavia King Johnson was registrar of insurance. And all of the finances can be tracked and returned, because Raymond Darlin Ferguson called in here, I think it was Michelle Malcolm, to say how it could be tracked. But every money, every piece will be returned to Bahamas Public Treasury under Mr. Philip Brave Davis. This is why I said he is ushered in for a time such as now. He took them on.
Berenice,
we would stand 100% with him and collectively all prime ministers, because when they say one thing to one prime minister, they say another thing. So that is why I said collectively on behalf of the Bahamian people, because we will be compromised. Okay,
Berenice,
this is not a regular election coming up.
Most definitely. Berenice, are you familiar with this statement? Eat the meat and spit out the bones.
No,
let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I say that. We go into break now. Let me tell you why I said it, Berenice. If we cannot determine whether it's a prime minister, I don't really know man to be personal with this, whether it's a prime minister or any political figure or religious figure, Berenice, if we cannot determine where an action or a policy is right and beneficial, if we cannot, as the people, determine that there's something being done that is wrong, all I'm trying to say, Berenice, I'm trying to be clear with this. No one man is 100% right. As the people, we have to determine, that is my leader. I love my leader. He is right 90% of the time. You have to find yourself saying, wait, my leader is wrong on this particular matter here. I don't support this particular matter. And the point I bring before you, 27% of Americans are in favor with the war that is going on between America and Iran. 27% of America, that's the latest poll, are supporting that. Bahamians need to get to that point where they can say, I support my leader. Berenice, Bahamians 100% support that leader, no matter what mess we are being led into.
Listen, the lords who were out here, I don't know if you recall when they were out here, and under, I think it was Dame Joan Sawyer. It was under Mr. Ingram's tenure. I think it was in 2010, somewhere there. Okay, that was after the Miss Universe pageant happened out here. The lords who were out here, some of them were out here under sting agent cover situation.
Berenice,
we ought to have had
what you're saying is important. Now we go into break. Berenice, what you're saying is important. What you said was the lords came out of England and they were here in the Bahamas and they had some deliberation. Let me add to your point. Let me get on one accord with you. One of the things that the lords said when they were here in that 2010 to 2012 space of time, they said that land theft is rampant in the Bahamas. And that's what I want to add to your point. See, when you make points, I have counterpoints that I can make that are
they can have access to land.
All of it. So what you were saying,
our people ought to have had access to land long time, and it shall be distributed by this Prime Minister collectively.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your contribution.
Thanks for your contribution, Berenice. Berenice, hear me carefully. I didn't even intend to say this. Those land registry act that was passed, the Land Registration Act, the Land Adjudication Bill. Professor, you need to get to this soon, or we need to get to this soon.
Yeah.
You will lose your land faster and swiftly. Now, if anybody from whether it's the Bahamas Real Estate Association or from the Attorney General's office or from the land
anyhow, we
adjudicators.
We have to go to break, Mr. This is Professor Sidney McCarter, Walter Thompson. We'll go to break. We'll be back after the break.
Express yourself live. We'll return right after this.
Wake up every weekday on 99.5 FM.
This is Steve Harvey, your main man.
With a Steve Harvey Morning Show.
I have a question for you. How would you describe yourself as a person?
I would describe myself, first of all, chronic illness. That's first thing. No, that's your lead?
No, see, don't,
Why y'all
ain't that me?
Thank you. Okay, but that's the one I led with. That's me. You want me to act like, okay, Junior, I got it.
Okay.
This is a teaching moment. No, I got it. Y'all gonna do me.
Yeah.
Weekday morning from 6 to 10.
Let's go.
Over here on
99.5 FM.
I'm out.
Whether it's a special anniversary or your next big getaway, we are the best choice. We carry the quality you deserve when you're looking for handbags, shoes, belts, small leather goods, backpacks, or luggage. Experience quality you can feel with Land Rioni. Kipling, Guest, Travel Light, and more. Visit us at any of our 3 locations. Preston at the Mall at Marathon and downtown on Charlotte Street and the Luggage Store on East Avenue in Centerville. Shop with us today. You will not regret it.
Stay current, stay compliant with NIB. For a limited time only, registered employers and self-employed persons can receive up to 75% off accumulated interest on their contribution arrears through NIB's Interest Arrears Waiver Program. Available now until March 31st, 2026. If your business is behind, visit your nearest NIB office or contact your inspector today. NIB, supporting businesses, securing the fund. Act now, comply today, grow tomorrow.
Do you have video games and consoles for sale? What about lawn and garden tools, silver or gold? At Cash Whiz, they'll give you top dollar for them right now. Absolutely nobody puts money in your pockets quicker. So why be broke? If you need money right now, check out Cash Whiz downtown Bay Street and get cash on the spot. You can also save 70% on in-store purchases, tools, electronics, watches, and jewelry, all at unbelievable prices. Cash Whiz, telephone 322-2456. Get money in your pocket now.
Bahamian feel-good food in the right atmosphere. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whichever you choose. It's the Cricket Club Restaurant at Haynes Point, West Bay Street. The food is off the chain. Bahamian breakfast. We talking stew cow, stew fish, and sheeptown sauce. And for lunch, crab soup, okra soup, and pea soup and dumpling. Man! And for dinner, they got mahi seafood platter or steak and shrimp, only $28.95 per person. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner at the Cricket Club Restaurant. Call 326-4720 for reservations. Oh, and don't forget, karaoke on Thursdays. And there's a live band, The Magic Touch, every Friday night. See you there.
Steve Harvey here from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Everybody knows that I love to chill out with great music. There's only one place you can get this one. Tonight at 7 p.m.
As soon as you clock off from work, make sure you lock right into me. I'm Lenny Green from The Quiet Storm, inviting you to come on over. I've got all of that R&B ear candy that you love. Plus, we'll engage in conversations inside a confession of love and so much more. And you never know who's going to drop by. It's The Quiet Storm, all getting underway tonight, 7 o'clock, right here on Global 99.5. I'm Lenny Green from The Quiet Storm.
From East Street to Blue Hill Road, it's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Yeah, let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney Bagado Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. This is the last break. We have less than 30 minutes. So we want you to call in 326-0272, 813-0271 on this Hot Topics Tuesday. And Bahamians, there's a lot to talk about nationally, what's happening in the election, what's happening outside of this country. And a lot of people are looking for solutions to problems that they're confronted with. I think we have to get closer to God, and we have the Holy Bible, which is the Word of God. And we have to depend on God, Bahamians, because a whole lot of lives are being lost. It's very, very sad, where blood is being spilled and innocent people are dying. People who have nothing to do with the war-making machinery of this world. But yet, the most innocent people are the ones who are suffering. You see parents running with whatever they could carry, and there's very little they could carry, and places being bombed, bombs falling all over the place. Some people having to go underground. They have no underground places in the Bahamas that I know of. I like to stay above ground, but in Israel they have two underground bunkers where they can live. I heard some reports on that. And so they are prepared for that. But in the Bahamas, we're not prepared for that. We have to live above ground. So Bahamians, what we really have to do is we have to look out for our own country. I'm not saying we shouldn't care about other people, but we have to look at what's happening in our country and see how best we can deal with these national problems, these constituency problems, hurting the Bahamian people. And there's been a lot of talk about elections, a lot of talk about the candidates, what they're going to do, what they want to do. And Mr. Bruce, I don't know if you have that tape ready, what the Prime Minister made. When that is ready, let us know. We want to play that. The thing is that you're going to have a lot of things being said. And it's going to be sometimes extremely difficult to determine who's telling you the truth. You're going to have contradictory statements being made by political personalities, candidates who want to run in the next general election, first-time candidates. We do not know what the outcome may be as yet, but there are persons who want to take over the country, who want to participate in the election, and they have a right to do that once they are Bahamian citizens and are properly registered for the election. The point is, Bahamians, we want to have a peaceful, crime-free election. We don't need things happening, what we see happening in so many other places around the world, where people, because of their religious beliefs, are being targeted. We don't want that to happen in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We've always had freedom of worship, freedom of movement, freedom of assembly, and all these other wonderful things we have taken for granted because we can lose them very, very quickly, the way how things are happening in the world. Brother Hylo.
Yeah, Professor, with all that's going on, I'm thinking about a particular Bible verse, a few verses in the book of James. I understand, we don't all want to follow the Bible. I understand that.
You mean the Bahamians don't want to follow the Bible?
Well,
these good Christian people who go to church on Saturday and Sunday, you sure about that?
That's a Christian nation. Professor, if we were a Christian nation, we would be experiencing what God have for us. But we can be like God when it's convenient for us. But the Bible in James, the 4th chapter, it says, "From where do wars come?"
Okay, all right.
Okay. "From whence come wars and fightings among you?
Yes.
Do they not come from your lusts that war in your members?" Lust, you want. That it's saying that's where wars come from. Don't wars come from what you want? Whether that's an individual or a group of people?
A group of people, yes.
And it says, you lust and you don't have. So you kill and you desire to have and you cannot obtain. You fight and you war and you still don't have because you ask not.
I believe we have a caller, and then we want to get to that tape with the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
That's a caller, Mr. Producer. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please.
Brother Professor.
Hey, what you say?
Brother Professor, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Well, you have a way of trying to provoke persons to call the show. Now, why did you say, Bahamian, we as a nation do not use our Bible as a constitution?
Okay.
You know that. And this is why we are in this state. Because we have moved, the Bahamas has moved away from the ancient landmark. Let me use a scenario. I hope I'm not digressing from your show. And I have yet to hear you talk about this. Maybe you will do it, but I'm not trying to direct you. But I'm just watching this. There is a research that came out from UB last week about sweethearting.
Okay.
The scenario of sweethearting is more to the women. Women are now sweethearting more than men. I did not do the research, but thank God for the Tribune who print the research.
Okay.
This country, if that was something negative towards men, this country would have catch a fire on that particular issue. But this nation is so biased towards men. You haven't heard anything from the crisis center. Nothing from all those women who now has been ratified to run in the next general election. All these women organizations, etc.
Yes.
You haven't heard anything from them. That particular issue is quiet and dead. But 60% of the children are born into a relationship of sweethearting, and that has yet to be touched while there's still a Christian nation. While they go in the same church lifting up holy hands every day. I am convinced wholeheartedly there are only 30% of our sisters in the world who live by Proverbs 12 and 4. The next 70%, they are governed by Proverbs 5. And that is a strange woman.
Okay.
This country do not use the Bible as their biblical constitution. That's why some issues they run from. And I will challenge any sister. If that was something negative towards men, you would have heard hog, dog, rat, and etc. But the UB findings was in favor of the sweethearting, married women sweethearting in this country more than men. Think about that.
Yeah, we did cover it.
Very biased.
Yeah. We did cover it.
Very biased. And even Professor didn't even have an issue on that. Professor, I'll go on my knees and pray for you and hope you use that as a subject.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. D.
The caller probably didn't listen to the show.
No, but we did cover it. But no, I understand where he's coming from.
Boy, Professor.
I think we covered it once, and I don't think that's sufficient to be
covered. The women may not even understand that God created them to be faithful, and they're the object of his eye.
Yeah.
We have the clip or a call?
The clip call, Mr. Producer. The call. We have another call, or you have the clip ready? Oh, the clip. Okay. Mr. Producer is going to play a clip from the Prime Minister, and we want to analyze that clip. So, Bahamians, when the Prime Minister says something, please listen carefully. And we try to do the right thing by analyzing what he says, not adding to it, not taking away from it. Go ahead, Mr. Producer.
The arbitration was confidential. I can tell you that the decision has been made. A partial decision has been made, but I can't say any more than that. Well, the decision was a partial. They've done a decision, made a decision, and requiring the parties to do other things. But as I said, I cannot.
Yeah, he's not able to go into the details at that point in time. But since then, we've had some details coming out, and we need to look at that very, very closely. Because from what I've understood so far, what the tribunal has said so far has been in the Constitution from its inception. Who has the authority? The government of the Bahamas. Always had the authority. You see, this is the problem we have when you have people running things, spending the taxpayers' money, and not understanding their constitutional authority that was given to them under the Constitution. And Bahamians, if we keep living like this is why I look at the results of the elections from 68 right on up to 2026. What has happened? We've seen the massive landslide of seats for the PLP party. We've seen a massive landslide seats for the F&M party. I never seen anything further than that. You give these two parties all these seats in the House of Assembly. The last two, 32 and 7, that was the last one. And then the other one before that, 35 and 4. 35 for the F&M, 4 for the PLP. Then in the last election, 32 for the PLP, 7 for the F&M. What is the electorate saying? See, Bahamians, you got to analyze that carefully. What are we saying to ourselves? What are we trying to do? Because when you go all the way back to 68 and come forward, you've seen that kind of massive movement where the electorate has consistently given a particular party a massive landslide. You see, you don't see any changes in the laws. You don't see any changes in anything of significance that has happened for the Bahamian people. And the same old laws are still sitting right there. No improvement. And then I won't even talk about the new statute of laws that have been passing in the House of Assembly. I haven't even gotten to cover them. And to show you clearly from recent legislation, in fact, I can take some time and pull it and go over it in detail with you, Bahamians, because a lot of you don't read these things. Just like those agreements what I told Brother Hyla, which was signed in on behalf of the people of Grand Bahama. Mm-hmm. You see, and these are the things that hurt us, Bahamians. I talk about the quality of life. And now you have this tribunal is telling you what's in your constitution. It's been there all the time.
Well, Professor, sometimes when other people say things, we believe it more.
We believe it more. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
When the other people, and don't let them have the lighter the skin.
Or lighter the skin. Yeah, that's even better.
The righter they seem to be in our mind.
Yeah. Okay. And that's unfortunate because
if you're black, step back.
Oh, and you're
but
white,
if you're white,
step forward.
You're in the right.
Yeah. But if we look at law, if we look at the system like that, that's a very wicked and biased way to look at things. Because the pigmentation of skin. Let me tell you, my mother graduated in 1943 as a nurse. After a course was supposed to be 4 years, she did it in 3 years with high honors and worked with Dr. Rassin at Rassin's Hospital. What I'm saying is she saw patients of all colors. And it didn't make any difference to her. They're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
These are mere mortal human beings. And you wouldn't want to get the stench when they're sick. Okay? Mm-hmm. There's no difference. I don't know why we have this mindset that the pigmentation of someone's friggin' skin is more important than the character and content of people. How do we get mixed up like that? It's been in the Constitution all these years, 52 going on 53 years. And the people had to come, some foreigners come from England, tell you the government has the authority. And it's been there all that time. Mm-hmm. What's wrong with our people? What kind of people have been electing to run this place, Bahamians?
And opposition. Because there don't seem to be no opposition to nothing.
Nothing at all. Because what I'm saying is, I look at the results of the elections, the massive landslide of seats they give to the PLP, the massive landslides of seats they give to the FNM. Just looking at the last two elections. 32 and 7 was for the last one, and then, of course, 35 and 4 for the FNM, the one election before that. That's the way it has been going all along. So what is it the heck that the Bahamian electorate want? What do you want, Bahamians? Because what has been happening doesn't make any sense. I want someone to tell me, why are we behaving like this? Why is the electorate behaving like that? See, now that's the study we need to look at. And one of those persons who called the show said he was not sure of that. But see, those are the things I look at, Bahamians. This is very serious, but I'll go ahead before we end the show.
Yeah, y'all don't make nobody life worse. I'll just say good evening. Y'all have a good evening. And try to do best by other people. Stop cheating. Stop lying. Stop stealing. Do your best. And let's try live like there's a God out there. Yes, he's watching everything.
Yeah, he's watching everything. You're right about that. And Bahamians, let us be constitutionally sound, okay? Because the government of the Bahamas has made some dangerous and serious errors which have never been corrected. They don't even admit that they did it. See, the problem with human beings is they don't want to admit when they're wrong. So you have to understand the kind of people you are sending to do your constituency affairs and sending to do your national affairs, people who do not want to admit when they're wrong, but yet they want government. And that's why this country is messed up the way it is now. You have a tribunal, man, telling you something that is simple, Article 2 of your Constitution. And the government of Bahamas doesn't even understand that. But yet they're running things. See how botched up this place is? This is Professor Sidney McGarr, Walter Thompson. Will be here again tomorrow from 2 to 4. And of course, I want you to send me that email to him. It's the State of the Nation 242@gmail.com. As I already told you, this is going to be a very serious election. We have to be right on the ground. We got to get our own information. Because some things we can't let somebody say, that's what the man say. We got to be right there to get what he say. And we got it recorded and we could put it on the radio station. This is what the man say. This is Professor Sidney McGarr, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. Bahamians, please pray for this country because we are in deep trouble, very deep trouble. This is Professor Sidney McGarr, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. Have a pleasant afternoon.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network